Hey guys, Skylar here. So, as you can see, this is another baking video, but I have all the ingredients out. This is literally why I pre-measure everything before I even make these videos, because look how much space this takes up. It's ridiculous. But we're just gonna go with it. So I want to make some double chocolate chip cookies, and yeah. I'm just craving chocolate chip cookies, and I have about 3 pounds chocolate to use, so great time for that. It's also Wednesday, that's why I'm wearing pink. I'm finally wearing one of the Calvin Klein shirts that I bought and have not worn yet. So let's go ahead and clear out some dry ingredients. So I don't usually measure on screen, because again, this is like so messy. So with double chocolate chip cookies, we are, of course, replacing some of the flour with cocoa powder. So we'll start with our flour. So we're gonna do, I'm gonna do 2 3/4 cups, or 1 3/4 cups. Excuse me, too much flour. So make sure you scoop and level. All right, and let's give me that half. Don't pack your flour. If you're worried about glue, just scoop it up and drop it, and that will just uncompact the flour. So it makes a difference. All right, that's 1.5 cups. And then we need a fork to get in 3/4. Boom. All right, let me clean this flour off me. All right, we're done with that, so I can move this. I'll shake it just to even it out, and then we'll put this behind me. We are done with that one. All right, the super messy cocoa powder. So we're doing 3/4 of a cup of cocoa powder. This is just cocoa powder everywhere, so I'm just gonna put this lid over here and try not to touch it. So I'm gonna use a 1/4 scoop, just because, oh, this is so lumpy. I just like put the rest of my cocoa powder in here, so everything's so lumpy. Am I gonna be lazy and not level this because I don't want to with my hands? Yup. It's fine. We're gonna sift this anyways. The world's not gonna end. Now, look at, like, that's a lot of cocoa powder. Like, you're right, but I want chocolate, so it's okay. I will compensate for this somewhat later on, so don't worry. All right, we're done with that. It's fully chocolatey. All right. Another ingredient out of the way. Alright, and then we got our baking soda, which I'm going to do 1/2 teaspoon of. Ooh. Another ingredient gone. I'm going to do 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I need my cinnamon, which I actually have down here. I didn't have everything out. This I'm going to do 1/2 teaspoon of, well, heaping teaspoon, or heaping 1/2 teaspoon. I love cinnamon, so like that's why I put in so many things, especially chocolate things or even just vanilla things. I just love cinnamon. It just adds a nice warm flavoring. I'm also going to put in a little bit of instant coffee. This I'm not going to sift because that's not going to work. I'm just going to do 1/2 teaspoon because it will help a little bit there. All right, now let's go ahead and just sift this through. Where's my whisk? I'm going to sift it, but we're also going to whisk it. And this just kind of helps get it through a lot of it quicker. Also, little beads left, and I kind of want to use as much of this as I can. Those aren't breaking apart, so we're done. And then I'm just gonna combine this in here because we have that coffee in there. All right, all set. All right, that is done. Now we're gonna get our butter mixture going. I'm gonna flip my bowl because I have it set the other way, so when I store it, it doesn't get in the way of the cover. All right. Open my trash up because we're going to put our butter in. So I have 1 cup of butter. This is softened room temp butter. Probably not as soft as it should be, but it's pretty close. I'm going to pre-whip it just a little bit just to help it out. Alright, so let's get that going. So if you use cold butter, it's not going to whip up at all. So, okay, so I just pre-whipped that a little bit just to help it out. And to that, we're going to add half cup of sugar, excuse me. We're just like having a time here. Alright, that ingredient is gone. And we're going to do a cup of brown sugar. This is also why I don't do it. I'm so clumsy. So I may not have enough brown sugar in here. Thinking I don't. So I'm going to have to open my other sugar, which is in the back. Oh yeah, no, we don't have enough. Yeah, so that gives me like half cup. I need a full cup. So I'm going to like just kind of... Alright. I'm going to go ahead and open up my other brown sugar. So I don't want to open brown sugar before I really need to, because it will dry out if you don't use it quick enough. But keeping in these containers, it does tend to last pretty well. So I don't tend to have much of a problem. Look at that. You can definitely see a clear difference. Now I'm literally just gonna mash them in there. Not too much sugar. Packed enough? Don't know. Don't care. Alright. And then I can stick my little scoop boy back in here, because I keep them in there to kind of just break up the sugar. Alright, another ingredient gone. Alright, so we got our sugars and butter, and we're going to go ahead and just mix that through for about 5 minutes until it's nice and fluffy. We'll be right back. Alright guys, so this is pretty much good to go here. All the sugar is incorporated, and it did lighten in color a little bit, which is good. So we're just going to go ahead and scrape this off as best I can. Buttery sugar. Who doesn't love that? Or I guess sugary butter. Alright, so I'm just going to scrape this bowl here real quick. Just because the side's all built up. And then also I'm going to make sure like everything's just incorporated from the bottom. That we have no like bits of butter that just kind of hanging out, or any chunks of sugar, which we don't. Alright. Now the fun part. Alright, oh. Maybe not fun for everyone. So, I have 3 eggs here. I'm going to do 2 whole eggs and 1 egg yolk. Just because I'm putting so much cocoa powder in here, I want a little extra fat from the egg yolk to kind of help it out. I didn't think this part through. I'm gonna do that. Alright, open up my trash so I can get my egg yolk in there. Alright. 1 egg. And then we're just gonna whip it up till it's combined. Alright, second egg. Gone really good at doing this one-handed. Not perfectly, but pretty good. Alright, then we're going to go ahead and do 1 egg yolk. This was not broken hard enough. So I did not break that yolk. So I want just the yolk, because the white is where a lot of the liquid comes from, and the yolk just has that delicious fat that I want. Let me wash my hands real quick. Then we keep a rag here. Normally, if I had more than 1 egg white, I would save it, but I mean, I have 1 egg white, it's not a big deal. If y'all gotta use for egg whites, go ahead and save it. And then for this last bit, I'm gonna throw in a teaspoon of vanilla. Alright. Just gonna do that because the vanilla like dripped over. And then we're again just gonna go until it is combined. Spoon fell in to my dry ingredients. Good times. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and scrape down my beater the best I can. It doesn't really want to scrape very well. Okay, just like, there we go. Oh no! There we go. I didn't save much of it, but I mean, it's there. You know what, I'm just gonna like take a paper towel and just kind of clean this part down. It's very full of flour because I use this for, well, cookies so often. Alright. So I'm just gonna scrape this down, make sure there's no unincorporated egg in here, which does actually happen sometimes with these kind of mixers. Like, stand mixers are great, but sometimes they just don't get everything on the bottom, which this thankfully did this time. Alright. I'm just kind of scraping my spoon off so I don't have all this stuff on it. Alright. Now my dry mixture, I am putting it all in at once, and I'm actually going to hand stir in a little bit of this, just so it doesn't poof up at me. I've learned it's best to do this part by hand and then just kind of finish it off with one final mixing. I do have the little like mixing shield, but it just makes it poof up in the back or the front, wherever the opening is. So that doesn't really help, in my opinion. So I'm not gonna use it. Alright. It's a little harder by hand, obviously, but if it helps me avoid a big old poof, I'm gonna do it. Because I'm really not into the big poof. It's just not great. Alright, that should get it going enough. Just realized I probably should have kept my bowl over here to put my spoon in. Oh no, I got stuff on my mixer again. Screw up. Don't do that at home, that's just raw egg. Don't do that at home, kids. Pretty mixed in there. So I'm just going to clean off all this. So when you're mixing it by hand, you're going to notice it's like, it seems really dry, and that's just from the cocoa powder. Because cocoa powder is very dry until you have it really mixed in. But I really want that chocolatey flavor, so put a good bit of cocoa powder. Usually you do maybe like 1/4 cup, 1/2 cup, that kind of thing. But no, I want chocolate. Alright, let me just kind of make sure we're all smooth in here. It's like a little fly, I don't like that. Oh, a little piece of dough. Again, don't do this at home, kids. It's so yummy, oh my god. Alright, so I'm going to we'll mix through, make sure we're all combined in here, which there is a few streaks of not mixed in batter, but that's okay. Now the fun, a bunch of chocolate bits in here. And I mean a bunch. Probably about like 10 to 12 ounces, depending on how big your chocolate chips are. I think a usual packet's like about 12 ounces. Alright, get that all mixed in there. I might add more once I get it kind of mixed. Don't overdo it, because cookie dough is really, really easy to overmix. Alright, I want a little bit more. I guess it's fine, I got so many of them. And then I'll save some to actually probably put on top, YouTube style, make it look better than it really is when you make it from home. Alright. So now this is all mixed in here. We're actually not going to bake this yet. We're going to chill it. Because it is a very loose, which isn't a bad thing. That's what we wanted. We want to make sure there's plenty of moisture in here. That's all the chocolate we put in. I'm totally going to eat this because it's me. Yum. Alright. A little mixer, which I'm going to actually scrape some of this off because there's like a good amount still on here. Like, I just want to clean you off. So I want to get the max amount of cookies that I can get. Alright, I'm just gonna boom, boom. Alright, good enough. Get clean. Alright, so we're gonna stick this in the fridge for, I'm gonna say at least 15-20 minutes just so it thickens up a little bit. Because it'll be easier to scoop and then easier to mold. So these can be more of like a drop style. I'm not going to use a scoop because I still haven't bought one. And because the chocolate chips using a scoop would be a little hard, it probably would break the scoop potentially. So, see you back in a few. Alright guys, we are back. And I have my nice cold dough. I did end up only chilling mine for 10 minutes. Probably could have gone the full 20, but here we are. He's really just trying to chill it so that way it doesn't just turn into mush as it heats up. So, I'm going to have the little spoon method here, and I'm literally just going to make giant globs. That's really all I want to do, is just glob it up on here. So, these are literally going to be dropped cookies. And they'll be pretty good sized cookies, I feel like, so make sure you give enough space for them. Spaced, and got chocolate on my finger. I'm just gonna put a few of these on top just to kind of push in, just so you know there's chocolate chips in them. Oh, it's definitely an aesthetic thing. You by no means need to do this. I don't know. I like to see the chocolate chips on top sometimes. Sometimes I don't care. For this video, I'm gonna care. I'm just literally putting a couple on each one. Don't really like a bunch of them. Here, you can go on this one. No, I'm not placing them perfectly. I'm literally just putting them on. Got a fly who's very interested in trying to get on my food. Go away! It's like just one little fly. It's like a little fruit fly. Oh, it's so annoying. Alright. There. Like so, these are going to be pretty good sized cookies here. Let me just get my hand cleaned up real quick. It was legit covered in chocolate. Use this one here. I have towels everywhere. Alright, so I'm going to throw these into the oven for at least probably 12 minutes and go from there because I want them to be obviously cooked through, but I also want them to be still chewy. So we'll see how it goes. We are back yet again. So my cookies took about Not 15. They took 13 minutes. I was thinking 15 felt cool for a bit of time. So they are done. I want to choose a good one to spray the most around. So they're still pretty warm. Here it is. And I'm gonna go ahead and just walk up and hopefully show you this deliciousness. We're just gonna. Oh, it's like the piece falling. Look at that. Oh, I dropped a piece. It's okay. This looks so good. I am so excited right now. Oh good, it's not like underbaked or anything. That is the chocolate I wanted. It's also a little cakey, like a brownie almost, which I really like. It's just so good. Oh, it's also warm. I've been sitting for about 10 minutes. Oh, best served warm. But I love this. It is so good. All right, I'm gonna leave it here for you guys. I'm gonna enjoy this. Excuse you, Mr. Siren. But I'm gonna leave it here for you guys. I hope you enjoy this. I'll put the recipe down below that I used as well, just because the odds of people following what I'm saying and actually doing it correctly, since I kept saying it wrong, pretty close to 0. So yeah, hope you have a good one. See ya.